He accused me of stealing his song in front of the entire school. I stood there shaking while the campus's most popular singer, Yanche, looked at me like I was dirt. But the worst part, I liked him from the moment I first saw him. I thought that moment was the end of my college life, but I didn't know it was the beginning of something even messier. Because the boy who hated me, who humiliated me, is the same boy who would later drag me away from anyone who touched me and whisper, "You're mine." Chapter 1. First Meeting, First Wound. The campus gates rose like the entrance to a different world. Cheng Ruo paused, breath caught in his throat, one hand clutching the strap of his old backpack. Compared to the towering buildings and sleek fountains, he looked like he had stepped out of a quiet countryside painting. His soft white shirt, washed too many times, fluttered in the breeze. His delicate features and thin wrists made him appear fragile, like a porcelain cup placed among steel. He whispered to himself, "Don't be nervous. Don't embarrass yourself." This university was the dream he never expected to reach. He had fought for every grade, sacrificed sleep, worked tutoring jobs, all to earn the full scholarship that brought him here. But none of his determination prepared him for the moment he first saw Yan Chibek. The courtyard exploded with noise, screaming, cheering, clapping. Students rushed to form a circle around someone walking down the pathway. Cheng Ruo was swept along by the crowd until he found himself staring at a tall figure illuminated by sunlight. Yan Chi, Podidakal, rumored to be the pride of the college's music department, a campus celebrity, a singer whose voice had gone viral online, and more importantly, unfairly beautiful. He had sharp phoenix eyes that gleamed even in shadow, a tall athletic frame, and a presence that commanded attention. Even surrounded by fans, he didn't look overwhelmed, only confident, cool, even a little arrogant. While he greeted his fans, his gaze casually moved across the crowd and collided with Cheng Ruo's. Just 1 second. What? One. But in that second, Cheng Ruo's heart melted, crumbled, dissolved into useless warmth. Something about Yanchi's aura, bright, unreachable, star-like, pulled him in instantly. Cheng Ruo looked away quickly, cheeks flushing. What am I doing? He doesn't even know me. Of course, reality struck soon. Yanchi's gaze moved on, uninterested. The world resumed. And Cheng Ruo reminded himself he came here to study, not to fall for a star. 2 weeks passed. Classes were intense, competitive. Students were bold, outspoken. Cheng Ruo, soft-hearted and nervous, struggled to fit in at first, but he worked quietly and diligently, earning small admiration from professors. When the college announced a first-year songwriting competition, he hesitated. He wasn't confident. He never thought of himself as talented, just hardworking. But the scholarship extension would help his family, and his mother urged him to try. So he stayed up nights composing. His melodies were small things, gentle, sincere, shaped from childhood memories of cicadas, wooden windows, and his mother humming in the kitchen. They weren't dramatic, they weren't dazzling, but they were his. He submitted the piece and forgot about it, until he was called on stage a week later. And the first prize goes to Cheng Ruo from the Department of Music Theory. The applause felt unreal. Cheng Ruo's hands shook as he stepped onto the elevated platform. Lights blinded his vision. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Who's that? The scholarship kid, right? He's always so quiet. Just when he reached the microphone, A cold voice sliced through the hall. Stop. The crowd parted in shock. Yan Qi strode forward, eyes blazing, jaw clenched. He pointed at Cheng Ruo with slow, calculated anger. That song, he said, voice loud enough for the entire hall to hear, is mine. Cheng Ruo froze. Yan Qi stepped closer, expression carved from eyes. I wrote that melody last year. You stole it. A ripple of gasps filled the auditorium. People stared at Cheng Ruo, as if he had grown a second head. Cheng Ruo's voice shook. I didn't steal anything. Yan Qi scoffed, sharp and cruel. What a coincidence that your original melody matches the one I performed privately at a club meeting. I never heard it, Cheng Ruo whispered desperately. I swear. Yan Qi leaned in, eyes harsh enough to cut. You're a liar. He turned and walked away. Cheng Ruo stood on stage, humiliated, throat tight, vision blurring. The award ceremony continued awkwardly, but every whisper, every stare. When he left the hall, his first daydream of college shattered completely. And the person who had unknowingly stolen his heart just accused him of stealing his song. Chapter 2: Hurt, Harassment, and Hard Work. The next days became a quiet nightmare. Yan Qi was adored. Whatever he believed, other students repeated like gospel. Whispers haunted Cheng Ruo everywhere he walked. That's him, the plagiarist. He just wants attention from Yan Qi. No wonder he's on scholarship. He probably cheated his way in. Cheng Ruo kept his head down, avoiding eye contact, focusing on his studies. But the worst was Yan Qi himself. He confronted Cheng Ruo whenever possible. Once outside the music building, Yan Qi blocked the doorway with one arm, eyes cold as winter frost. Trying to run before I question you again. Cheng Ruo's fingers tightened around his notebook. I'm not running. No. Yan Qi stepped closer, until Cheng Ruo's back hit the wall. Tell me again you didn't steal my melody. I didn't. Liar, Yan Qi snapped. Your face screams guilt. Cheng Ruo felt his throat close. Why won't you believe me? Yan Qi stared at him, really stared, the anger flickering with something else. But he turned away. Because people like you disgust me, he said. The words struck like a physical blow. But instead of crying, Cheng Ruo quietly bowed his head and walked away. Yan Qi watched him leave, jaw tightening for reasons he didn't understand. Despite all this, Cheng Ruo didn't break. He poured himself into studying, into music theory, into late-night practice. Professors praised his improvement. His classmates began asking him questions, seeking notes, admiring his patience. He rose, steadily, like a candle burning bright even in the darkest corner. And this irritated Yan Qi more than Cheng Ruo's existence. The plagiarist had no right to bloom. Yet every time Yan Qi saw Cheng Ruo smiling shyly with classmates, something twisted uncomfortably inside him. Jealousy? No. Impossible. Why would he feel jealous of a boy he hated? One day, the professor announced, for the winter showcase, the top vocalist and the top theory student will perform a duet. Everyone clapped until the names were revealed. Vocalist Yan Qi. The room erupted in murmurs. Cheng Ruo went pale. Yan Qi's expression darkened instantly. I object, Yan Qi said. The professor didn't even look up. Feel free to drop out entirely. Yan Qi clenched his fists. Chang Ruo quietly lowered his head, guilt filling him. Now he's forced to work with me. But the professor insisted, and so began the forced collaboration of two people who wanted nothing to do with each other. The first rehearsal was cold and tense. Chang Ruo stayed by the piano, avoiding eye contact. His hands trembled when he played the intro. Yan Qi stood as far from him as the room allowed. When Cheng Ruo tried suggesting a harmony, Yan Qi cut him off. No, your ideas are too simple. Cheng Ruo flinched. Sorry. But even as he snapped, Yan Qi noticed a tiny shake in Cheng Ruo's fingers. The delicate, almost fragile way he held sheet music. Why is he always trembling? Because of me. Something sharp poked his chest. The second rehearsal was quieter. The third, Yan Qi began harmonizing naturally. The fourth, their voices blended so well that even he couldn't pretend not to notice. Yan Qi stole glances at Cheng Ruo every time he hit a high note with such raw purity. It made Yan Qi's chest tighten. He hated it. He hated feeling anything for him. Because that meant maybe, just maybe, he was wrong. And Yan Qi wasn't used to being wrong. Chapter 3, Truth, Jealousy, and Undeniable Feelings. The shift happened unexpectedly. Cheng Ruo forgot his notebook in the rehearsal room one night. When he quietly returned, voices spilled out from inside. Yan Qi and his friend, Wang Zixu. I'm telling you, Wang said. Cheng Ruo didn't steal your work. I saw his notebook. He wrote that melody during the first week of classes, before the contest was even announced. Yan Qi's entire body stiffened. You're lying. Why would I lie? The date was written on the corner of the page. He hummed the tune in the dorm hallway. Ask anyone. Yan Qi fell silent, a rare moment. For the first time, he seemed unsure. Then, why does it sound like mine? He whispered. Coincidence, Wang replied simply. It happens? Yan Qi's voice cracked slightly. So he never wronged me? No, but you definitely wronged him. Silence. Heavy. Guilt-laden. Cheng Ruo stood outside the door, heart pounding. His throat tightened when he realized Yan Qi wasn't a villain. He was a scared, prideful boy who leapt to conclusions too quickly. And now he regretted it. A lot. Cheng Ruo pressed a hand over his chest. It hurt. But not with anger, something softer, sadder. He walked away quietly, not wanting Yan Qi to know he overheard. The next day, Yan Qi stood silently behind the piano as Cheng Ruo arranged sheets. Cheng Ruo braced for an insult, but instead, you missed breakfast. Yan Qi's voice was low, awkward. Cheng Ruo blinked, startled. I wasn't hungry. You look pale. Cheng Ruo froze. Was Yan Qi worried? Before he could respond, Yan Qi cleared his throat sharply and looked away. During practice, he moved closer, tiny steps at first, then boldly. Their hands brushed when turning sheet music. Yan Qi didn't pull away. His ears reddened. Then came the jealousy. It struck like lightning. A senior approached Cheng Ruo one afternoon. You have a beautiful voice. Want to grab coffee sometime? Before Cheng Ruo could answer, Yan Qi suddenly appeared out of nowhere, stepping between them like a shield. No, he said coldly. He is busy. The senior raised an eyebrow. This doesn't concern you. It does now. Yan Qi's jaw tightened. Don't flirt with him. He grabbed Cheng Ruo's wrist and dragged him away. When they were alone, Cheng Ruo yanked his arm back. Why did you do that? He was being nice. Yan Qi glared, eyes wild with frustration he couldn't hide. He was touching you. So? So what? Yan Qi stepped closer, breaths shallow. You're mine. Cheng Ruo's lips parted. I'm not an object. Yan Qi froze. The anger melted, replaced by panic and guilt. He whispered, You're right. He swallowed hard, voice trembling for the first time. I'm sorry. I just don't like it when people get close to you. Cheng Ruo's heart thumped painfully. Am I important to you? He asked softly. Yan Qi didn't answer, but he didn't need to. His eyes said everything. Chapter 4: Confession, Kiss, and Becoming Uas. The winter showcase arrived faster than either expected. Backstage, Cheng Ruo trembled, fingers cold. He felt tiny under the heavy spotlights filtering through the curtain. Suddenly, warm hands wrapped around his. You're shaking again, Yan Qi murmured. Cheng Ruo looked up, startled. Yan Qi's gaze was softer now, like he had put down all his weapons. Look at me on stage, Yan Qi whispered. Only me. Before Cheng Ruo could answer, they were called. The curtain rose. Music began. The world disappeared. Yan Qi's voice was deep, powerful, alive. Cheng Ruo's was gentle, emotional, shining. When they sang together, their harmony filled the hall with something too raw and intimate to be just music. Midway through the performance, Yan Qi stepped closer. 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 Their breaths mingled. The audience held its breath. On the final note, Yan Qi wrapped an arm around Cheng Ruo's waist, pulling him in. Gasps filled the auditorium. The lights dimmed. Backstage, Cheng Ruo turned away, face burning. Why'd you do that on stage? Yan Qi didn't answer immediately. He cornered Cheng Ruo gently, hands braced against the wall on either side of his head. Their foreheads nearly touched. I need to tell you something, Yan Qi whispered. Cheng Ruo swallowed. What, then? I was wrong about everything. Yan Qi's voice cracked. I hurt you. I hated you for no reason. But then you kept being kind, patient, gentle, and He exhaled shakily. I fell for you. Cheng Ruo's breath hitched. Yan Qi cupped his cheek softly, desperately. If you hate me, I'll accept it. If you want me gone, I'll go. Just tell me I still have a chance. Cheng Ruo whispered. You scare me sometimes. Yan Qi froze, heart flashing across his face. But then Cheng Ruo continued, voice small but brave. But I also like you. Yan Qi's eyes widened, then softened into relief and something deeper. He leaned in. Tell me to stop, he whispered against Cheng Ruo's lips. Cheng Ruo didn't. Their kiss was soft at first, testing, trembling, then deeper, hungry, long overdue. Yan Qi held him like he was afraid he might disappear. Cheng Ruo clung to him because he finally understood Seidel. Yan Qi wasn't cold. He was lonely. Just like him. The weeks after their confession were filled with small fights, soft kisses, late-night practice sessions, whispered apologies. Yan Qi tried to control his jealousy. Cheng Ruo learned to set boundaries gently. They grew, not perfectly, but sincerely. When Yan Qi became a nationally famous singer, Chang Ruo stood proudly by his side as a composer. Their first single together topped the charts. And during a massive concert, with thousands screaming, Yan Qi spotted Chang Ruo waiting backstage. Without hesitation, he walked off stage, grabbed him and kissed him in front of everyone. Cameras flashed. Fans screamed. But in that moment, there were only two people in the world. You, Yan Qi whispered breathlessly, are my only song. Cheng Ruo smiled, with love, with trust, with the softness that had always been his strength. And you, he whispered back, are mine. The end of the beginning. But beginnings don't stay sweet for long. Because the moment our story went public, the whole world decided to test how strong we really were. New rivals, hidden secrets, a past that wouldn't stay buried, and a love that might not survive the spotlight. So if this was only the beginning, what comes next might break us or bind us forever.